keynote speaker who's an adult, or specialist speaker in a field. I was looking at potentially music and mindfulness, and initially I was even thinking of inviting a brain surgeon to come and talk about what happens to the brain when music's played and things like that. But then at the end of the day, I thought the most important thing is the students in the classroom. So I hope you don't mind, but our keynote speaker today is a student from our school, from year 13, and I asked him to share with us just for a few minutes how music has impacted upon his life. He is a music scholar, he's a fantastic percussionist, he's a bit nervous about talking today, but I know that you will be a warm and receptive and supportive audience. So I'm now going to hand over to Richy, who's our year 13 student.
Hello. Where is Mr. Richy? Where was another Richy?
There is another Richy.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. Richy. Apparently it's a very uncommon name, but my Richy spelled with a Y. So. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm a little nervous today. You know, we're all musicians. We get nervous from time to time. So, welcome. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Hopefully, you've had a productive couple of days in FOBISEA, and it's an honor to be here to speak in front of you as your guest speaker. I'm Richy, as Mr. Johnson said. Percussionist. I love the drums, I love orchestra, and I love all instruments. I do. And I feel like I'm very grateful to be here to speak in front of you today about a student's perspective of music, because you're all teachers and staff, so I think that's very important. But firstly, before we begin the speech, I'd like to just say thank you to everyone here for being the great educators, people, musicians, and artists that you are. I mean, you're all artists, and in a manner of speaking, art has no limit. I mean, if you gave me 2 chopsticks in a bowl, you hear Richy's mom asking what he's doing in A-flat minor symphony. Sometimes it works. I like to use drum to play. It's good. Now, welcome to the MAD building. I call it the MAD building. It's the Music, Arts, and Drama. It drives you mad from time to time, but it brings you together back to your own reality. Now, before we begin, I'd like to really reflect on this quote. Art of composing is to feel it. Art of notating is to get it. But art of living is both. Allegro vivace. So, pretty much, I believe that to live, you've got to understand, and you've got to get it. But it's very fast. Music is very influential. And as music teachers, you can nurture that for us students. Now, obviously, before you return back to school and bring back your wonderful initiatives that you've learned in this course to your teachers' toolboxes, I'd like to just ask you to just take a step back, stop, think, and really self-reflect on the celebrations, on the journey that you've made as a teacher with your colleagues and your students. And I believe that in classrooms, what makes a great music lesson, or a lesson generally, isn't the latest technologies, nor is it the syllabus, nor is it when you're orchestrating or arranging the next piece for Stand By Me. It's you. As a music student, it doesn't matter what's been given to us. It's what we do with it and who nurtures us through it. As music teachers, you have the power to influence and inspire us in that lesson that could change our lives forever. Music. How do you describe music? I'd say within music we have many subgenres. We have many forms, structures, pieces, and composers. And some would question if we have lost our touch and our essence to music. Have we really created and gone too far? So far with so many new possibilities that we can't exactly capture or really teach exactly what music really is to a student in lessons. Now to teach, you've got to learn. It's an innate thing. We all learn, and we all teach seldom. But to learn music, I'd say, it's quite an understatement. We learn music verbally, physically, cognitively, emotionally, and even socially. The point is, music is everywhere, in and out of the classroom. And I'd like you just to realize that nowadays, music is very important as a form of communication, as a form of meaning. And it will really benefit us as musicians and people of tomorrow. And only you, as music teachers, have the power to nurture that for the students, artists, and musicians of tomorrow. Music in itself, what can be used for? It can be used to instill the past, to influence the present, and to inspire the future. And only you have the power to do that as music teachers. Now, we're all humans, right? Anyone not human? Anyone alien here? No?
Me.
Oh, hello, Miss Willem. We're all humans. We all come from the same planet.
Sorry.
Right? We're all physically from the same evolutionary tree. But what if I told you that we are different, majorly, into not physically or bloodline or evolutionarily, but how we see the world is completely different, completely, because of music. You see the world differently to the person sitting next, in front, or behind you. And so do I, because of music. I'd say in your times, if we had to really stereotypically put in a slide what music was like, I'd say Rick Astley, I don't know, these G's, Procol Harum, Beatles, just in essence. However, have we really gone too far, as I said before, with Mozart, Beethoven's lovely decorations, with Rachmaninoff's passionate and powerful dramatic chords, etc.? That really nowadays in music, to find something so unique that really instills us as 21st century musicians of who we are, that we've gone too simple. Have we really retreated back to 1 bar or 2 bar riffs with a bit of technology, reverb, relay, and a lot of saxophones nowadays in music? But you see, the point is, we can't accurately put music into a slide. We can't differentiate. We can't instill each slide of what music is to who. Because music in itself has gone so far, so broad, we can only just capture bits and blobs of the essence of it. We can't summarize it all. But you as music teachers can't do that. You can nurture that through your lessons. So we, as music students, can create more meaningful music in the future. What does music mean to you all? So we've now talked about the influence of it, but the word music, what does it mean to you all? Does anybody want to volunteer? I'll start off. I'd say music in itself is a form of escape from.
An expression of love.
Anyone else?
Language.
Language.
Soul.
So.
Organized.
Well, here's the thing. You're all correct, and you're all wrong. Because there is no right and wrong. Music. Now we reflected into, as music teachers, with your age ranges, how you feel about music. And now I've asked for the scholars and advanced musicians of Harrow about what they think music means to them.
My life,
Everything. My passion. My dreams.
my word express, my joy,
The community.
My home.
My escape. Happiness.
Oh, money.
It's me. There you go. That was what music means to them. The last one was Sun, who plays piano very well. He's at my house. Pretty much same as you. They did not say what music means to them is Justin Bieber's newest hits or the Frozen soundtrack. It's very subjective and open. Same as you. So this brings back to the question whether our worlds are truly different. No. Music connects us. We have the same answers. Some of you answered correctly with what they had before. Because music can do that. And the bridge to do that, from us to music, is you as music teachers. Now let's try this. Please raise your hand up if you've learned something new over these couple of days. Good, thank you. That makes you a student too. What I'm saying is, of all the most important things in this world, shelter, food, and love, I think what we've discussed so far, it can be argued that music really has gone so influential that it's now considered a necessity as a form of language, as the gentleman said there. It's a form of communication without having to use any structured language. It's something that you can get without even having to speak, just looking at each other between your colleagues or your students. And you just click. You have that moment, and only music can offer that. And for the people of tomorrow to be able to, can you guess? It's you. You as music teachers to nurture that in us. And I'd say in the music department of your schools, it should act as a safe haven place for students to explore new pieces, challenging or not, new musicians, and new ensembles. And if it does get a little overwhelming, it should act as a ray of a comfort zone for the students, of mastering their own skills and instruments, and really their interests. But the ladders here, those ladders that allow the students to rise up, but to also retreat back sometimes to reflect on their own selves, is you. You as music teachers have the power to do that. Now as a music student, I'd say we have a tabula rasa, a blank slate of mine. Actually, this treble clef and bass clef should not be there. It's basically a blank slate. We're born with absolutely nothing, just innocence here. But the beauty of music here is, music is not only a subject, it's a form of language, it's a form of expression. And it's not restricted to equations, dates, or even right and wrong. It touches the soul, it touches the mind of both the music teachers and the students. And really in music, there is no right and wrong. There's only molto tres expressive, allegro vivace, allegro con brio, you name it. Pretty much, there is no limit. And only you can nurture that in us. To discover, to develop, and deepen those skills through music in and out of classrooms. That awareness of the world that we're living in. Only you can do that to us. And even from a child to an undergraduate, music stays with us forever. And I've asked an ex-Harrowian who's very passionate in jazz and music, and he's now an undergraduate, about how music has impacted him throughout these years.
Hi there, I'm Richy Srirachanikorn. I graduated from Harrow last year, and right now I'm at the University of St. Andrews studying physics and philosophy. Richy's asked me to talk to you guys about how music has influenced me. It helped to define me, and it made my school life the greatest set of experiences and memories that I could have ever hoped for. In year 5, I came into Harrow, and those were pretty rough times. I had no real feeling of belonging anywhere. I was very displaced from my own country. When picking up the saxophone and joining the jazz band, everyone was so welcoming, and there was such a sense of community in the music department. I could really start to consider myself as part of something, as a Harrowian, finally. In 2010, I went to a music FOBISEA in Hong Kong, and made many older friends their lifelong friends. With regards to that team spirit, people can accomplish when they're all motivated and working together. All cogs in a well-oiled machine, that attitude bleeds through to school life. Personal anecdote of mine is that I co-founded the Harrow Conference as alumni. My musical experience helped me to organize an entertainment function for the ages, if I do say so myself. Music is great for well-roundedness like that. Even academically, my extended project was about 3D printing my saxophone, and I learned loads of complicated physics from that. It really helped out in exam. I'll be eternally grateful for the jazz quartet Richy's actually a part of it, for all the good times, forgetting the stresses of exams. Most importantly, music gave me something to work for and be passionate about. Something in which I could feel when I improve, really feel it, and it encouraged me to push myself as far as I could go. Music was a really big part of how, I guess, I made it so far. So, I wish you all the very best for Music FOBISEA. You might find yourself emerging a bit more in tune with yourself, if you'll forgive the pun. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
So as you can see, music is not only within the classroom, it can impact us personally, struggling through rough times, but also be used academically into his extended project qualification, which he scored very, very well on. Primary research, an essay, and also giving a speech like what I'm doing. Really to summarize it all up, music. Can we all agree that music is more than a subject? Can we all agree that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's a form of language, mode of communication. And the beauty about music is it's only personal. And there's a double meaning there. Personal to only music as a subject, so only subjective to music. But also personal with the people within it. And I wrote this down on my speech here, and I really didn't want to say that. I would like to share it with you about what I think music is as a music student nowadays, of how it has impacted me. And I think that that click moment that we talked about, maybe you're improvising with your students, and you just have this mutual connection where you know that what you've played, it has bonded you together. And this can go from student-teacher relationship to a lifelong musician friendship, as Pete said. A mutual intimate connection with the soul, the mind, and the voice of two or more artists on the same level of musical intellectuality, awareness, and medium at that very, and only that very specific moment that you understand that yes, that is the beauty of music. Now, a little more just to line things up. We've talked about what it means to some people, and we've talked about how it's impacted you. But when these two things combine together, what happens? Thank you. No, I'm actually conducted for my A2, so I actually did it quite well. Now, that was the beauty of music. Without even having the notes or the sound of music there. I can't click. We clicked. We've got that mutual and intimate connection with each other. And you can do that too. You've nurtured that in us. And this is what happens. When we become music teachers, our students and us will continue that to make more beautiful music, to help, to aid, and to develop people for whatever they're facing. The beauty of music, I'd say, is that anyone and everyone can play it, sing it, or perform it. Skilled or unskilled, to communicate a mood through a universal platform that can be touched, grasped, or even seen. It's something we establish as a sense of pride, trust, and musical connection as artists with different tastes and genres. And this shared mutual understanding and genuine love for music is what defines us all. We may come from different times, but we have a similar mindset and growth and goal for our joy and our love for music. And really reflecting on myself of how music means to me and how it's impacted me. How music can change a boy's life. And yes, that is me when I had good hair back then. I personally play the drums, but I also do orchestral auxiliary percussion, etc. And I came to Harrow in year 1. I was very shy back then. I didn't make any new friends. I didn't. I had a rough time. But music in itself, as a music department and music teachers anywhere should offer, is that trust and that genuine love for music. And fortunately, it has clicked with me from a young age. And I've been in many rock events, played for many events, even the sports awards events, and our benefit bash that's held every year with a guest rock band. How music has impacted me majorly, I have to say, is one event when we did the gala concert, and I was asked to play the drum kit as a soloist. That was the day, or that was the time period, when I learned how to play bossa nova. I've always played rock, and I hated it, no offense. But without this occasion, without the music teacher having asked me to play bossa nova in this event, until today, every time in jazz band or in my own jazz quartet, whenever there's a bossa nova piece, I will always be on the drum kit. I love bossa nova. And it has really impacted me through my tough times. I listen to a lot of bossa nova. So really thank you to the music teacher who has given me this chance to be in front of a large audience and discover something I didn't know I had within me. Of course, coming with music, I have to try something new. I've been asked to sing up there on the left-hand side in the Gents of Harrow, a choir, all-male choir. I've never done that before, I've never sung before, but I did. And it was nice. It was nice to show new people, as the structure we talked about before. Meeting new people with the music department and you as music teachers as the ladders to help me. I've had my own jump band right there, made of LED and oil cans. I've also conducted myself. So music here, really, it should grow, but also save the music students. I've also had many applied music myself. I've had my own jazz band over there in the top left corner, and my own singing in the pre-production on the right-hand side. And I've also taken up marimba, grade 8, last year when I had to perform. So that was something new. With my music teachers, they really helped me. See a lot of platforms and events, celebrating many different instruments and people, and this is really what I see when I'm at events. And these are people who really mean a lot to me in the music department, who for 12 years have really nurtured my love for music, and it's sad to leave this year. But I know I'll make good life friendships with them. But to really bring it back to the beginning, I'd say, think of it this way, simply put. We as music students are shipmates. You as music teachers are the captains, and the music department should be a platform, a big enough vessel to bring in all inspirations, all motifs and ideas of people, and really help people out within the love music ship. So really, are we all students? Yes. Are we all teachers? Yes. But how do we make music influential for the teachers of tomorrow? You. Thank you.
Each other at that side of the hall to thank Richy for the keynote speech he's just delivered. I won that battle. Richy, absolutely marvellous. Great choice, great decision to choose a student, one of our senior students, senior prefect. Richy, you've inspired the teachers who are in front of you now. You've done a magnificent job there. Excuse me. And what a great contrast. Here's the musical moron. Remember that right at the beginning of the the programme, and there you have a product of an inspiring music programme, a young man who's going to take music into the rest of his life and is able to inspire a group of music teachers. So there's your strength, there's your opportunity, isn't it? Not to traumatise young people, but to inspire them and give them those opportunities and to absolutely nurture them until they turn into a Richy. And I do just have to indulge myself. I'm sure there's a few people in the room can appreciate just how proud I am of Richy and what he's just done there. Year one, Little Nipper, I got to know Richy in prep. I remember getting to know him very well, products of a lovely family as well as this school that has the motto, Leadership for a Better World. Our mission statement talks about nurturing leadership attributes and preparing young people for life. And you've certainly just exemplified that, young man. So congratulations again, Richy. Thank you very much. Thank you for the attitude you've all shown, for everything you've all taken from the programme of the conference. We're really pleased that you've enjoyed our Creative Performing Arts Centre, our MAD Centre. We're still debating the name, actually, in preparation for the formal opening. I'm glad you've enjoyed the space. This is very much our investment in the creative performing arts and music, our commitment to music that you've enjoyed here. You also know that this building's only been open a few weeks. And we've kind of disguised just how hugely frustrated I've been that we've not been able to open those final large performance spaces that we think will be open in November. But it seems to work very well nonetheless. So thank you very much again to all the team here at Harrow who've made that work to pull everything together at such short notice, given actually behind the scenes how fresh, how new this building is to us. It's been a fantastic achievement. So a brief, maybe final round of applause to the team here at Harrow for providing back over to FOBISEA Music HQ now. I think, Richy, you can come to the microphone now. So over to you. Thank you to you and your team as well, Richy.
I can have a final thank you to Richy for that quite inspiring. I don't know how to follow that. Quite a unique a few weary and tired faces I can see. I promise you I won't keep you long. We just want to do like a quick kind of overview of just everything that's been discussed. There's been so many great discussions happening the last couple of days in the clusters, and obviously with the vote for the committee as well. So I just want to give you just a brief overview of everything that's going on. So obviously, we had the vote, so I just want to go back as a new committee and had a kind of discussion of the roles. So it's going to be myself and Gareth as the two co-chairs, so we're going to just oversee everything, all the events and all the cluster events that are happening, and hopefully just encourage and help support everyone when they're creating the events for the cluster. And then we have the cluster representatives. They're going to be the kind of main people that are going to help and support the cluster. So we get Ben Brown for strings, Stuart for woodwind, Sarah and Clayton are going to help with percussion, and then Paulette's going to help run with the bass cluster. Give a round of applause to them. And can I also just say, I just want to say a thank you to the previous members of the clusters, because it is quite a lot of work, and I know Ian and previous members as well, Claire, the co-chair, and then Kelly, who helped as well, because it is a lot of work, and a lot of people put a lot of work in for the past couple of years, so kind of a thank you to them. So I'm just going to pass on to Gareth now. We're going to have just a brief overview, just to let everyone know what's been discussed in the clusters, and the cluster representatives are going to talk as well, and just to let everyone know just the events that you can expect this year and the possible events for next year.
Okay, so really quickly, what happens next? Basically, if you are hosting a form, then you should have received already the host letter from Katrina. If you've come up with something we're going to host this year during this conference, which I know some people have, then Monday or Tuesday you should also receive a host nomination form which needs to go to your head to be signed, and then as soon as possible sent back to Katrina so that we can actually get everything on the website and all set up and running with dates confirmed.